to Where It Begins. This is a new interview series that we're doing. And I myself and Mickey Monday, also my co-host. Cece, if you want to, introduce yourself.
Everybody know y'all know me, Cece.
And then also
CC.ATL in the building.
Yeah, there we go. And we also want to introduce International Nova.
What's up, my people? What's going on?
Hey, Nova, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing? How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Doing pretty well.
Are you quarantining over there?
I'm quarantining. I'm chilling. I'm trying to stay safe, man. I hope you guys are too. This whole Corona thing is crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So while we talk about Corona, what you think about it?
Man, I think that Corona, this whole pandemic is going to change the way we live our lives for the rest of our lives. You know what I mean? I think we lost a lot of people. I actually lost a close friend of mine. God bless the dead, Fred the Godson.
Prayers.
But, I feel like, this is going to go beyond 2020, 2021. I feel like it's going to change the way we kind of handle a lot of things in our everyday life going forward. So it's a sad thing, man. I think it's sad. I think it in a weird way, it has some positive twist to it as well. But I think overall, man, I think that this is something that, is going to go down in history and it's never going to be forgotten.
I agree.
100%.
I agree. Well, I know Mickey Mike got some questions for you, Nova. Yeah. I can't wait for him to answer. He always got some dope questions.
Man, let's get it.
I do actually. So I was kind of, perusing through your catalog, listening to some of your songs, and I noticed you're kind of like a rapper and a singer, right? So you not like T-Pain where he's like rapper turned singer, but more or less. So I was gonna ask you, was there like a transitional point for you where you decided maybe, I could try and do both, or like, was there anything that prompted that switch up to, to kind of keep people on their toes, or what
so it's funny because, I've been doing hip hop. I've been rapping for a long time. You know what I mean? I've had multiple deals and things like that. And for me, what happened was, it came to a point where I moved out to Atlanta from New York. I've only been in Atlanta 4 years now.
Okay.
And I've done so many things on the hip hop side, but then I kind of got bored with hip hop and I got bored with the music. You know what I mean? To be honest, because I felt like everybody was just sounding the same, and there was no originality and no difference in sound. So I was really, just bored with the music at one point and just kind of doing more writing and producing for other people. And my manager pulled me to the side because we had met with a couple labels, and they were like, "Yo, Nova's dope. We want to sign him, but can he also do Latin music?" And at first I'm like, "Nah, I'm not doing it." Even though I'm Latin, but growing up in the Bronx and being raised in the Bronx, I was raised on hip hop. So at first I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that." And after a while, I kind of sat back and I was like, "You know what? Let me try it," because right now I'm bored with hip hop as it is. I said, "Let me try it." And I cut a couple of records with one of Pitbull's producers, and they pulled me to the side and they were like, "Yo, like, how long have you been doing Latin music?" And I'm like, "This is literally my first Latin record." And they were like, "Nah, no way in hell." And I was like, "No, like, this is my first Latin record, my first time singing, my first time doing the Spanish thing." Wow. And they were like, "Look, let us produce the whole album." So shout out to Gabe Acosta. He produced the entire project. And it ended up being something that I enjoyed doing now and I love doing. And, I never wanted to sing. I never thought I could sing. But, it's something that I took serious. I kind of worked on it and I do things my own way with my own swag, my own style to it. And I think that what I bring to the market now is completely different. I don't feel like anybody's doing what I'm doing right now. So it's kind of dope because I feel like I'm the artist now that can kind of toggle between hip hop and Latin music, almost like Cardi, how Cardi does on the female side, where, if hip hop wants to do a record that has some Latin flavor to it, they get Cardi on it. If the Latin people want to do a hip hop record, they get Cardi on it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that, right. That person that can kind of juggle between both lanes. So for me, it's super dope. It's exciting. I never thought I could sing. I still don't think I can sing. I just think that I kind of do something that's different and I bring my own flavor to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag because, me being an artist too, it's what people expect just based off of how I look and how I talk. They would never think that I would be a rapper. So I completely get that. And then also with being a part or being a Latin artist or, because that's you got to own that now. You know what I mean? Once you dive into it, you know what I mean? So having your songs being on the international charts too, I think that's another, another notch in the belt for you, something that, you know, you can make your own and dominate in as well?
Well, you know what's crazy for me, even when I first started doing hip hop, like we popped off overseas first. I had a #1 record in Germany before people on my block knew I was rapping. Wow. You know what I mean? Because I was very, when I first started doing music, I was very, not shy, but I kind of kept it to myself until I was ready for it to be, you know, really be accepted, because I was around a lot of big artists at the time, just hanging out, from being related to certain people and being around certain people. And I was always like at the mindset, like, you know what, until my music is as dope as their music, I can't really, you know what I'm saying, be in that same room. And it really took us to kind of pop off in Germany and Sweden and Switzerland and all that stuff for me to finally be like, well, you know, I do music too. And then when it came down to it, they were like, yo, like you got #1, #2 records on the charts in these countries. Why you never told us you do music? And that's really how it started for me. And you know, the whole Billboard charts and all that stuff, like that's kind of why I didn't want to depart hip hop, because for me, I felt like I did so many things. But at the same time, being of Latin descent and Latin origin, even though I'm half Black, I feel like, you know, as a Latin artist, you kind of hit a certain level, a certain ceiling on the hip hop side. So for me, it kind of felt natural to not only do Latin music, but kind of do it where it's different, because I'm still incorporating hip hop into what I do. I'm still incorporating R&B into my music. So it's a mixture of all those things in one, and I think it's just completely different.
Okay, wow. And you got that new single, "Hey Now" with Petey Pablo. Hey, how is that going?
Man, it's funny. I just got off the phone with Petey like 20 minutes ago. He's like, bro, the record is going crazy. It's funny. So, you know, I met Petey through Bonecrusher. You know what I mean? Everybody knows I worked a lot with Bonecrusher when I first came to Atlanta. And, you know, I got my own studio, and Petey and Bone were working on a project that I really can't speak about because it's still on the wraps, but they were working on a project, and that's how I met Petey. And me and Petey became super close. And, you know, I was just producing records for Petey. And one day he was just like, yo, like, why are we not doing records together? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, like, I want you some of my records. And I was like, well, I'm doing Latin music right now. Like, I don't think you want to get on a Latin record. And he was like, nah, send me something. So I sent them the record controller, and he literally sent it back like 3 hours later and was like, yo, here, let's put this out. And at first, you know, I was trying to find, with the whole Corona pandemic, it kind of slowed things down, because I had a whole nother single I was going to put out that we already had, like V103, Streets, all these different stations were going to add it to rotation, which was dope because I'm a Latin artist and they don't play Latin music. And the pandemic kind of slowed that down. I was like, okay, let me put something else out just to kind of show people what I'm doing now. And the record has taken off. Like, I've never had a record do this well organically. Even my record that was on the Billboard charts, like this record is doing so many things organically with no money behind it, no super big budget behind it. It's crazy. Like it's on the radio in New York on FM stations, in Cali, Miami. Like I'm getting phone calls from all different places. Like, yo, we just heard a song on the radio. And then I'm getting all these different like big social media people doing videos and TikTok videos. One of my friends who has like 1 million+ followers just did a TikTok video for me 20 minutes ago. So that's why Petey hit me up like, yo, this thing is everywhere at this point. But the record is doing great, man. I'm like so excited. I'm surprised that it's doing so well. But it's a blessing.
Why are you surprised? All your songs do well. Wait a minute now.
Well, you know, I'm surprised because, again, this is a whole different lane for me, and nobody outside of my camp knew I was doing Latin music. Right. So this is my first Latin record I put out, and I wasn't sure how my fan base or just the Latin market in general was going to accept it. And it's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. Like, we're about to shoot the video in about 2 weeks too, so that's gonna be exciting too.
That's good. You know, I was just gonna ask you if you want to shoot a video for that song. Yeah, that's a hot song. It's a fire song. But also, No, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying we were supposed to shoot a video before the whole pandemic started. And again, it slowed everything down. But we've been on the phone the last week or two, as far as trying to get locations and all that. So it's either going to be in Vegas or in Atlanta that we're going to shoot the video at, but we're definitely shooting it sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah. Well, since you in a sharing mood, you know, I was going to ask you if there's anything else big or exciting that's coming down the channels of the pipeline that you want to let everybody know of, or you got an album in the works, or, you know, anything. I know you act too, so.
Man, honestly, there's so many things going on right now. I'm excited. So I just did my deal with Crush Entertainment, Sony Records.
Okay.
My album's pretty much done at this point. We're kind of locking in some last minute features, some big features last minute, just to kind of round out the album. I got Vanessa Bling on a record, who's super dope. She's been on the Billboard charts on the reggae and dancehall side.
Nice.
She's done records with everybody. You know, I mean, we got a fire record that's crazy. You know, PD, of course, is on the album, and we got some other features that, you know, I'm gonna announce soon, but they're like super big, so I don't want to let the cat out the bag just yet. And then I just signed on to do a TV show, a pretty big TV show coming out. We start shooting in early July with some other big actors in it, and I'm actually one of the lead roles. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So so it's been crazy, man. And then I just got a call yesterday for another TV show that I just thought, you know, I'm getting the contract for now. That's going to be another really big situation. So I'm excited, man. Like, I can't wait to just announce things officially. But there's so many things going on. Like, I really thought that the pandemic was going to slow things down for me, and it's been the opposite. Like, it's really been the opposite, man. And you know, from signing with my new label to finishing my album to, you know, putting out this record and now these TV shows, like, I'm excited to see what else is going to happen, you know, within the next couple weeks to couple months.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Woo, you're doing big things. Look at you now.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like, I've been in the gym. I put on 10 pounds. Like, I'm trying to make sure that, you know, when we start filming these pilots in July, that, you know, I'm looking right. So it's exciting, man. And, you know, I'm doing some stuff with the Money team as well. Shout out to the whole Money team in Vegas, you know, Floyd Mayweather and those guys. And it's super dope. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you. I mean, your journey just been awesome. From coming from New York to Atlanta, you know, and starting with Wine for Me, and that hit billboards. That was one of my favorite songs. Now this song, I mean, you're just doing good things. I'm proud of you. You know,
it's
from
crazy.
loving hip hop to All Eyes on Me. So this journey for you has been a blessing. I always told you need to be a motivational speaker, though. I still got that on the board for you.
I've been asked to do that for a long time. And, you know, I'm actually going to start doing that now. You know, just kind of reach out, not only for motivational purposes, but just to kind of share my life experiences, you know what I mean? And one of the things I do with artists is, like, just speak on certain things that I learned in the industry, because I found that, especially with artists and new artists and indie artists, there's not many resources that we can go to when it comes to people who already done it and are willing to share that information. You know what I mean? Like, this is a cutthroat industry. So for me, one of the things that I try to do is, you know, show as much love as possible and let these artists know that we can do it, man. Because, you know, I'm a Spanish kid from the Bronx, and I've been able to accomplish a lot of my dreams and things that I never thought was even possible for me, just off of hard work and relationships. You know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest things that I tell people all the time is relationships is important, and more than money in this industry. You know what I mean? Because I've been lucky. I've been blessed to work with. I've been blessed to work with people that when I was a kid were idols to me. You know what I mean? From Stephon Marbury on the basketball side to the Outlaws to all these different Terror Squads, all these different people that I grew up around or I looked up to. The P. Pablos, the Bonecrushers that I can call on the drop of a hat, and you know, I can call them friends or big brothers. And you know, I feel like a lot of time for artists, new artists and indie artists, we don't have that person that we can tap into. So, you know, I'm looking to do a lot of motivational speaking now, speaking to new artists, even with the label that I just signed with now, Crush Entertainment, Sony. There's some artists in the label who, you know, call me all the time, and they just want to kind of touch base and get ideas and see what I did that worked for me. And I'm always open to that. Like, I'm hands on deck when it comes to that, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in the right place, man. And especially just hearing you talk, it sounds like you're a branch, like you're a tree that just extends branches out, and it seems like everybody's just coming to you for that knowledge, and you're a perfect resource for that. So,
well, you know, one thing I believe in karma, bro. Like, karma is really big for me, and energy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you put out the right energy, you'll get that tenfold. You know, I mean, sometimes it takes a little while to get it back, but I feel like in the end you will get it back. So, you know, I've always been that type of dude, and for me, it's like, there's so much space in this industry for all of us to shine and all of us to get money and feed our families that I don't believe I have to be shiesty with what I'm doing with my resources.
I agree. You know, you
See
always
you
been
dropping
one of my big
gems.
supporters. So, you know, you definitely been that since day one, big on supporting people. But like
Well,
I said, go
you
for
family. Anytime you need me, you family. That's nothing, man. It's funny because there's in this industry you can meet a lot of people, but there's only certain people that actually become friends outside of the industry bullshit. You know what I mean? And when you meet those people, you got to hold on to them, man, because there's not a lot of genuine people in this industry, or good-hearted people. So for me, when I meet somebody that I feel like meets that, you know what I mean, I try to hold on to those people and try to look out for them because they're super far between. You know what I mean? It's not every day you come across those type of people.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Mike, what other questions you got for Nova today?
Absolutely. Yeah, I got another question for you. So I know you, like I said, you're acting, you're doing music. You know, do you have any other side ventures that you're working on? Like, I know, you've worked with Triple OG, the clothing brand, in the past. You have anything else in that realm where, you got your hand in other projects, maybe modeling, maybe.
Yeah. So there's some things that I literally just got a call on yesterday and the day before yesterday that I'm going to be announcing soon that I can't announce just yet. But I'm going to do a lot more modeling for clothing companies, being brand ambassadors for a couple big situations. It's something that I've always kind of did. I've never really, I like to put my hands on a lot of different things. I believe in having multiple streams of income. And, not just in the entertainment side, but even with like owning companies and things like that. So, beyond the music, I own 3 or 4 other companies in different aspects, you know what I mean? Like a moving company and architectural stuff and IT stuff. And, but on the entertainment side, beyond the music, beyond the acting, I'm doing a lot of more modeling, even doing some exec stuff on the back end with other artists and new artists, in different genres. I'm actually producing P.D. Pablo's whole next album myself. Wow. Per his request, he wanted me to do the whole album. Like there's a lot of things that we're kind of just diving into, man, and just trying to put my hand in everything that I can without overextending myself, because I believe in doing and giving 120% in everything that I do. So if I can't give 120%, I'm not even gonna put my hand in it. So I'm excited to kind of release some of these things and announce some of these things. The TV show being one of them. And the new TV show that I just got, word of yesterday morning. Like once these contracts are fully finalized and done, I'm going to be announcing certain things. But yeah, it's a lot of things coming that I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks to, 10 to 20 days, I'm going to be announcing a lot of things.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm one of your biggest fans, so
Yeah.
I'm super proud of you. But I do have a question for you though.
Yeah,
do you think that it's better to be independent label or to actually be on a label?
It depends.
These days, because it seems like everybody's doing the independent thing, with all the social media and everything.
Well, social media has made it a lot easier for artists to kind of, just get out there, do their own thing. For me, I've kind of been on both sides of the plate. Like I said before, I was signed to 2 different labels in the past. Now I'm indie, or I was indie, but I feel like it depends on what you're doing. It depends if you have relationships. It depends if you have money behind the situation. Money makes the world go around, and the music ain't no different. Unless you have some really dope relationships with people who are willing to, go above and beyond for you for no money. It's a give and take. It's a give and take because as an indie artist, you get to have a lot more freedom. You own your own stuff. Versus being on a label and they kind of dictate the whole situation. It really depends on your situation, on your music, on your quality of music, and on your persona. Because nowadays I think like social media has made it where people don't necessarily buy into the music, but they buy into you as a person, as a persona. And that's why I feel like a lot of these artists who may not have the best music in the world have huge fan bases because the people buy into them as a person. So social media has made that a whole lot easier. You know what I mean? But again, I feel like it just depends on your situation and what you got going on and your budget, your relationships, you know what I mean? Your expertise and how smart you can be with what you got.
That's dope. That's deep. That
This
is
is a
deep.
very wise man. Man, I want to see you win, man. So I'm definitely gonna lock in and tune in, and when you start announcing stuff, because I was trying to get it out of you on here, but
Yeah, I
since you got
can't,
stuff
man.
in the works,
I can. It's funny because I got a call yesterday, and the first thing my manager said was like, "Yo, bro, please don't say anything about this. Don't tell nobody." But just know that it's two big acting situations, and I'm gonna be one of the lead roles in both situations. Two completely different things. You know what I mean? One is more drama, more powered-ish type of a situation, and the other one is more comedy. You know what I mean? More younger, kid friendly. So it's dope because I feel like it's gonna show my range on the acting side. And beyond that with the music, like I'm so excited to put this music out and to let people hear what I've been doing. Like people don't realize I've been holding on to this project, the Spanish album, for at least a little bit less than a year. Like it took me, I literally recorded the entire album in 1 week. You know what I mean? In really 4 days. We cut 12 records in 4 days. And since then, I've been cutting other records and doing features. But as far as stuff that's on the actual album, we've been cutting records and really getting that stuff done in a matter of weeks, from recording it to mixing to mastering it. You know what I mean? And I got some really dope people behind the project who were very instrumental in the project. You know what I mean? Like even the guy who mastered the album, EJ, he's got 20 Latin Grammys. The guy who produced the entire album for me, you know what I mean? He's been Pitbull's producer, Fat Man Scoop, a lot of big people in the industry. And we just locked in literally for a week and knocked everything out. And it's dope to have people that believe in what you're doing, even when you don't believe in it sometimes. And I mean, because like I said, at first, I wasn't looking to do Latin music. I didn't think I could do it. And then, to have people be like, nah, like, this is what you got to do. Why didn't you do this sooner? It's dope. It's super dope.
yeah, it is. Wow, that's crazy.
But like you said, even when you met Bonecrusher, and I know in one of our other interviews that we had, you said that, he always told you, don't never change your music. Don't follow that path. So he told you, stick with what you know, stick with you. Had that different, that different sound that you have. So you continue that journey, be you. Keep, putting out your stuff. Don't switch up.
Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes as artists, we're scared to be ourselves. You know what I mean? And for me, like, I can only be me. And, I can't be nobody else. I can only be Nova International. Like, I can't be somebody else. I'm a kid from the Bronx. I'm a kid who, who's been working hard and fights for what he wants. And I can't be nobody else but be me.
Okay. I like that. Well, we do this WIB trivia I've been doing all day. And I asked everybody the same question, so I'm not going to switch it up to next week. Okay, so my question is if you had to quarantine for 24 hours with one of these three people, which one would you pick and why? Okay. So I picked Dennis Rodman, Trump, and the third one was 6ix9ine. Which one would you choose?
Dennis Rodman.
Why?
So I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan growing up. So I've always been a huge Dennis Rodman fan. But really, he's different, man. Like, he's outside the box. He seems like he'll be a cool dude to hang out with and party with. And, being quarantined and stuck, ain't much you can do but party at your own crib, with your own drinks and stuff like that. So I feel like, and you know what? Just listening maybe to some of his basketball stories would be so dope. Like, I think that would be like the most for me. Like I know when I met Stephon Marbury, like he was my basketball idol. And I met him through a music thing and we became good friends after that. He's like an older brother to me. And sometimes we just sit and have conversations and it's like, damn, like that's dope. Like we had a convo one time about Kobe, but before Kobe passed, rest in peace, Kobe. And, we got into a conversation about who's a better player, Kobe or LeBron. And I'm like, yo, Steph, you gave Kobe 50 points. Like not many people can say that. And he's like, bro, I'm gonna tell you something. Kobe is second to Michael Jordan, only to Michael. You know what I mean? And he gave me all these different things. And so for me, like soaking in knowledge and having that type of a conversation with Dennis Rodman would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody picked him.
Yeah, everybody has. And I didn't say this in any of the other interviews, but since you're a big fan of the Bulls and Dennis Rodman, it's a show on Vice called Party Legends.
Okay.
And Dennis Rodman has a series where he's talking about a party that he was in. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It should be on YouTube, but you could Google it. Just Google Dennis Rodman and then Vice, and it'll pop up. You know what I'm saying? But
right. So
yeah,
I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Party. Okay, bet.
Mike, you got a trivia question for Nova?
Yeah. So my trivia question is more or less it's very materialistic, because once you become a major artist, and then they start just throwing things at you, you start touring, you just start amassing a big amount of money in one sitting, right? So if money wasn't an option for you, right, what would be the first thing you would just purchase off the top of your head?
A house for my family.
Okay.
Money's never been a big thing for me, and that's probably been one of my problems, because I don't value money. You know what I mean? But for me, stability is the biggest thing. So for me, one of the biggest purchases I would do, or the first purchase, is get a house for my mom, get a house for my sisters. You know what I mean? That for me is the biggest thing. I know when I had my last deal, I literally took my advance money, moved the next week to Atlanta. I ain't know nobody here, just got on the truck and moved out here and bought a house. And that's just my mentality, is like, stability. Because once you're stable, you can do whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? You can put in 120% into whatever you want to do and follow your dreams. Exactly. But you still gotta have a place, place to lay your head in, a place to wake up in and feed yourself. So for me, that's the main thing.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Media trained. What? Such a great answer, man. I love it.
It's funny though. I've never taken media training. Like every time I speak to somebody, they're like, "Yo, did you ever do media?" Nah, not at all. It's just, I'm a Virgo, man. So I analyze things. I think before I speak, and I think a lot of artists don't do that, unfortunately, nowadays.
That's true. That's very true.
So, one more question for you on my end. What's your ideal woman?
Hold on, there's a fire truck flying by. What's my ideal woman? Someone who's loyal. For me, loyalty is the biggest thing. Loyalty and respect. But for me, the ideal woman is somebody who's loyal, somebody who, puts her family first. Not necessarily her man or her husband first, but her family, her kids first. You know what I mean? Somebody who takes care of the home and supports you while you support her as well. And I think that, in a relationship, you have to both give 120%. You know what I mean? And you both got to meet halfway and figure out, one thing I've learned recently is not everybody loves the same way you love. You know what I mean? And you have to learn how the other person wants to be loved. And we all have different meanings of love and how we learned it and what love is to us. And I think that the ideal woman is somebody who wants to learn how you want to be loved and wants to love you that way. And in return, you know what I mean, she wants to be loved as well. And for me, that's the biggest thing, family, loyalty, respect. Those are the things that I value the most when it comes to a relationship.
Awesome. Mike, do you have any other questions for Nova?
Do I have any other questions for Nova?
I know we could go on for days, but
we could, because I want to pick your brain, but I know you're on a tight schedule and you gotta be somewhere, so we'll just save it for the next time. All
right, cool. Well, whenever you guys need me, I'm here, so just let me know.
Okay, perfect.
Well, I want to say thank you.
No problem.
Congratulations to all the things that you got going on. I wish you the best, really.
Yes,
I'm there for everything.
I'm excited, man. God is amazing. I'm definitely blessed. Like, there's a lot of artists that would love to be in the position that I'm in. And that's one of the things I've learned to realize too, is like, as an artist, we sometimes think about what we don't have, right? What we haven't reached yet. And we forget about the things that we have reached. And, I've learned to value all those things, because if even one person buys your record, one person comments in your stuff, that's one person whose life you may have changed. You know what I mean? So I always tell people all the time, like, if I just sold one record, I would still be the happiest person in the world, because I never thought I could do this anyway. You know what I mean? So for me to be able to do all these things and reach all these different plateaus, for me, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, I'm just a Spanish kid from the Bronx, man, just trying to follow his dreams.
And I see in your future, I really do see a fashion line for you, motivational speaking for you. I see that in your future. Yep. I do. I don't care what you say. that's gonna be really big for you. You're gonna be like that other guy, Trent. You start doing some walking and talking. His name is Trent. Look him up. All he do is he walk and he talk motivational stuff to people. And it's all over the world. It's real dope. Just what he say, but that's how you kind of remind me of him. You know, because every time you talk, it's powerful.
Send me a link. I would love to check that out. I would love to check that out.
I done read his, you know, I'm a bookworm. I done read his book. I listen to him. I be on YouTube. So,
dope. Okay, good.
I definitely do. But thank you so much for interviewing with us today.
Nah, thank you for having me, man.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Like I said, Cece, you know, you family, you said so. Anytime you need me, just let me know. You know what I mean? And now you family, bro. My first time meeting you. You family now too. So you know what I mean? Anything you need from me, just holler at me.
Absolutely. We'll definitely keep in touch.
Thank you. And vice versa. You know, you need me for anything, especially posting, networking, media. I'm there.
I got you. Let's get it.
I'm about just like you. I just feel like, you know, I never thought I'd be doing magazine and writing and stuff. And I just tried it. And now I got 20 or better K. I'm like, whoa.
I told you at the magazine release party, man. I remember when you told me when we was doing the radio interview, and you said, I think I wanted to open up a magazine. I said, why not? And you were like, nah, I don't know. I'm like, nah, go ahead and do it. And you know, like I told you at the magazine release party, man, you know, do it. Like you can do whatever you want to do if you're putting in all the effort. You know what I mean? And you did it, and I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Because I never thought this was what I'd be doing, but I tried it out. I like it. I really enjoy it.
Life
and then
is
when you
funny
follow
that
your
way.
passion and find your passion, it's like, hey, it all flows all together. It comes to you instead of you looking out for it.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, like, you know, it's not always about money. If you're doing what you love to do, then internally you won't be happy. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I've learned recently is like my time, my energy, those things, you know, are the last things in my life that I want to waste. And once you find what your happy place is, money doesn't change that. You know what I mean?
Amen. All right. Well, happy Tuesday. Tell everybody where they can follow you, and we out.
Man, follow me everywhere. International Nova on all social media platforms. International NOVA. I follow back for the most part. I respond to DMs. Just hit me, man.
All right. And there you have it. All right, Nova.
All right, y'all. You guys take care.
Hey, man. Stay safe.
Yeah, you guys too, man. Please stay safe out here, y'all. Please.
Same to you.
All right, mama. Much love.
Much love.
Tell her what you trying